One of the biggest episodes we've ever done as a show, ever, was when we debunked a lot of the lies that have been spreading, viral lies on social media.
Still spreading.
Still spreading. And so what we've committed as a team to do is just like whack-a-mole. We're going to keep hitting.
It's a good excuse to keep showing good Charlie clips.
So. Yeah, exactly. And so I'm going to play, let's just we got a couple here on lockdown for Charlie on DEI. So let's go ahead and play. This is the one that seems to be spreading the most. And this is the accusation, Brandon, that Charlie was saying black women do not have enough brain processing power. That's their cherry-picked top line.
That's what they've taken. It's like a
even
complete
Obama
misquote,
said this.
Complete misquote, but it's popped up everywhere. I think that's also in the Hannah Jones one.
So I'm going to play. It's a long clip, but let's just play it through. You'll hear what Charlie says himself. 101.
You really have to wonder. In fact, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving.
All right, so now that is going. Obama quoted this, saying, "Oh well, I don't really, what happened to Charlie is terrible, but he said some bad things about my wife." Christopher Hitchens said that.
Yeah, no, it's not even. We don't even have to go to Hitchens. We can go to Michelle Obama herself in her memoir. Basically says, my school guidance counselor said I didn't have the test scores and grades to get into Princeton, right. And she's like, "But I got in on the strength of my essay." I'm just going to tell you, Michelle, if
it wasn't if
your name was like, Kim Soo, like some Asian name,
yeah,
you would not have gotten in with bad grades and bad test scores because of a great personal essay, period.
Yeah.
And
I have to say, Charlie was right. They don't have brain processing power. And everybody that believed that he's a racist or that he said something untoward don't have brain processing power either, including Barack Obama. But these people, they're not being honest with us. That's not how, in my opinion, how Barack Obama really feels on the inside. He has to say that to capitulate to this ideology that he's supporting the black man. They know exactly what Charlie Kirk is saying. They know exactly because they were saying that they were affirmative action hires, and because of affirmative action, all of those things are the reason why they got hired. We know for a fact. And if they're mad at Charlie, they should be mad at Joe Biden, because Joe Biden said he put Ketanji Brown Jackson in a bad situation. That fool could have just simply said, I'm going to hire the best, or I'm going to, appoint the best Supreme Court justice I can, the smartest and brightest that we've ever did, and picked a black woman. But instead, that old decrepit man said, I'm going to pick a black woman. He didn't even say he's going to pick the smartest black woman. He's just going to pick a black woman. And that destroys the credibility of black people. Same with Michelle Obama, saying the things that she say. Well, how about you guys support black people by saying, I'm going to pick the most qualified person and let, a black person come forward that's qualified. And I know Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be a fool to think Charlie is a racist. You got to be a fool. You're a disingenuous person with no processing power in the mind to come to your own reasonable conclusions. You can look at the breadth of what Charlie has done, the people that he surrounded himself with, the people that he partnered with, the people that have raving reviews about him, and it'll tell you right there that he don't have a racist bone in his body.
Well, I mean, not to mention, you've seen this, I've seen this, like how many people that he didn't care about what color your skin you had, he cared about the ideas you had.
Right.
And it's like, I just have seen, in my mind's eye, I could see all these instances of Charlie just like hugging, embracing, laughing with people of all backgrounds and colors. Because you know what? they agreed on the most important stuff, and they probably were Christians. Brandon had some harsh words for the people claiming Charlie was a racist, and it was beautiful. I couldn't help but I was like wanted to get out of my chair and applaud. But we committed as a show that as we see these things gain traction online, we're going to debunk them one by one, and we're going to keep hitting it. And we're doing it for Charlie, and it's his legacy. And it's an important legacy, and we are stewards of that in part. And we're going to do our part to call out the lies and call the haters for what they are. Here's I'm going to play some other clips of Charlie, though. Let's go. This is CK challenges student to name him one institution that got better or the more it embraced DEI. I think this is a really important point. 123.
You're thinking that DEI is versus excellence. I think DEI is for excellence.
Got it. Show me one institution that got better the more it embraced DEI.
One institution that got better that embraced DEI.
That got smarter, more competitive, leaner, more productive, and that was better than it was 10 years ago. Are our airports more efficient? Are we landing planes better? Are our airlines better? Is our government better? Is our schools better? Is our universities better? Show me one example. Is our public health authorities better? Show me one institution that's embraced DEI that has become better, more excellent than it was 20 years ago. It doesn't exist. DEI will destroy an institution from within.
Right. And I love that he said that because some people don't have critical thinking skills on campus. They can't think about these things. They frame DEI as having to do with just black people. Diversity, equity, inclusion, if you look at the statistical data points, it actually affects white women, or they have more benefits in DEI programs than any other race. So really it's about white women. And then you have the LGBTQ community that's engrafted in that. It's really not helping black people, to be quite honest. But ignorant folk think DEI is just black people. And the reason why DEI doesn't work is because if you want something to be excellent, you want it to be great, it has to be based on merit. I want the best and the brightest. I hire people all the time. And when I look at their resume, I don't give a flying flip if they're black, green, or orange, right? I want to make sure that you're aligned with our mission. But at the same time, I don't care who you are. What does your resume say? What have you done to prepare for this position? And most people who are rational, who are successful, that's how they operate their business. And to be quite honest, we don't need a white savior to tell black people that, oh, little poor black man, let me pat you on the head and let me give you an opportunity. No, we are smart enough as black people to earn an opportunity. We go to school just like anybody else. We want greatness just like anybody else. We have the brain capacity, if you want to apply yourself, to do very, very well and be successful. And so we don't need these programs to try to lift up black people in an artificial way, because what happens is you lift up black people that are not prepared and they make us all look bad.
Yep.
Just go after the people that are good enough. And if you want to help from the front end. That means that elementary schools, that means in grade school, you're helping young people be educated and be prepared for the future. Therefore, they can be more competitive in a fair way. You don't wait to the end of the road to try to thrust people in positions of power.
I think that's well said.
I wanted to flag this because I saw it the other day. So you mentioned, there's a lot of DEI sex-based for women. And I saw this news the other day. So London has one of the oldest stock exchanges in the world, one of the most historic. And they have a rule on the London Stock Exchange that to do an IPO, you need to commit to having at least 40% women on your board. You need a woman in a top job. I don't know what that's defined as. And you need an ethnic minority director. In 2005, the London Stock Exchange had 339 IPOs that raised a total of 51 billion, either dollars or pounds. I'm not sure, but I think pounds, 51 billion pounds. They are now down to 250 million. They've lost 99% of their IPOs. Because people are just deciding to IPO in a country where they don't have a million DEI hoops to jump through to start your company.
You should have put that. It falls off a cliff. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, what is a woman, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's the secret. That's how you get around it.
At one point, what do you do? I have half of the guys identify as women, and then there we go. We'll meet our quota.
Well, we have that clip somewhere, actually, I think, but they'll show it to me. We'll play. It's worth play. It's worth remembering the insanity that we lived through. But here's another one I'm gonna play real quick here. This is I guess we do have it. Let's play 124.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context. So I'm not a biologist.
Oh my
What did we do before biologists?
Yeah, exactly. Problem is, biology's been taken over by DEI too,
Also
so even
true.
they don't know the answer. So it's a sick cycle.
She's proven Charlie's point about brain power. Like,
of course.
Why are they mad? Go look at this fool who's a woman who experienced female things almost every month, and she can't articulate what a woman is. She probably have children. I don't know if Ketanji Brown have children, but at some point, you have to be able to be a genuine human being. Yeah. And that's not genuine for you to act like you don't know what a woman is.
Well, yeah, the fact that you get tripped up with that question just proves the point. And by the way, I will say Ketanji Brown Jackson, even some of the liberal justices on the court have gotten frustrated with just how insane she is and how poor her judicial skills are. So, I mean, it's bearing out. And to your point, it's making black people look bad.
Make them look bad. Clarence Thomas is doing an incredible job.
We got his picture right behind
He's
you.
an excellent man. But they hate him.
They
He
do.
don't count.
And he doesn't count.
Yeah.
And also just they would always do this, like, frankly, like, actually pretty racist thing when Scalia was still on the court. They would always just say, like, oh, Thomas is just Scalia's puppet or whatever. And they would do all of that. And then Scalia died, and it's like, oh,
actually,
Thomas
turns out
is actually an amazing
he's
justice
actually
still.
the leader of the court, basically.
Right.